Welcome to Awaken Sovereignty, a solo cast on ascension, shadow work, empowerment, and alignment with your highest purpose. I'm Chris Pinckley, spiritual coach and guide for those moving through deep awakening, transformation, and personal evolution. Let's begin. In this episode, I'm going to discuss the power of the reset. This is the power of giving yourself a fresh start at whatever you're working on, a relationship, a situation, something unresolved, or just even your life in general. Depending on where you're at and what you're working on, the reset can be a very, very powerful tool. A very basic description of the reset is just taking a pause on what you're doing, giving yourself either the rest of the day or the rest of, a couple of days or even the rest of the week to just be and to just put a pause on or take a rest from whatever it is that you're working on, you're trying to achieve, you're trying to break through. And the time that the time that indicates that a reset might be appropriate is if you're spinning your wheels, you're getting stressed out, nothing's happening, you're not sure what your next right move is, then a good idea might be to think about giving yourself a reset. Now, when I do a reset, at the very least, I'm giving myself the rest of the day. Sometimes I'll give myself a couple of days. Generally, I won't do more than that because I'm always pushing forward. I'm trying to make progress and results, and I'm trying to see some change in my reality. I have these overarching goals and objectives that I'm always working on. And I just have this kind of no retreat, no surrender mentality. But where I can get into trouble with that is if I'm creating resistance and I'm spinning my wheels. And as a result, my content will suffer. And if my content isn't on point and isn't good, and it isn't infused with the right energy, then it's not going to attract people. It's not going to be, because it won't be as valuable to them. You want your content to, at least I do, I want my content to inform, educate, uplift, and elevate people from having listened to it. And so I know that if I'm creating content in the wrong state, trying desperately to make something happen, spinning my wheels, pushing hard, then my content is just not going to be as valuable to them. It's going to have the wrong energy in it. And it's also likely just not going to attract, the audience that I'm hoping for. So let's break it down and look at the components of the reset. The first part of the reset is really coming to the realization that you might need to step away from whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it's you're having communication problems with somebody, there's some sort of communication breakdown, you're just not getting through to them, they're not getting through to you, you're not co-creating, you're not really actualizing the connection that you want. There's the aha moment between the two of you or however many people is just not happening. Or whatever you're creating isn't drawing an audience, whether it's you're writing a book, you're putting out some sort of content, you're doing marketing, you're trying to get new business. That's just not coming in. Or the new design the new concept, the new idea that you're trying to come up with, the breakthrough idea, the invention, the innovation is just not happening. Or you keep coming up with something and realizing somebody else has already created it, or it's not as useful as you thought it might be. Whatever the case is, the first step is realizing I need to take a pause and I need to step away from this for a minute. That's step number one. Step number two is defining, okay, how long do I need to give myself in this reset in order to properly, extract all the benefits of a potential reset? The benefits are just having fresh eyes, clearing yourself, releasing resistance, and, getting back into the flow and enjoying the process again, right? So how long do I need to give myself for this potential reset for it to be effective? Now, for me, I'll realize at some point in the day that I'm in a state where I've just, I'm not really sure that what I'm doing is the highest, best good for myself or my intended target audience or anybody. And I'll just, or it's just something's not working. It's not drawing the views or the listens or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. And I'm always, I'm all over the place. I'm always working on multiple forms of content and media. So I'm gonna say, okay, this isn't working, or I'm not sure what my next move is. I'm not sure if I'm in the right state. And so I will stop dead in my tracks, whatever I'm doing. I'll stop, I'll put a pause on it, and then maybe I'll take a walk, I'll do some meditation, I'll eat some sort of nutritious food. I'll do something to just sort of just distract myself and take my mind off of it. And usually what I'll do is, I'll just take the rest of the day and I'll start fresh tomorrow. In rare cases, I'll take a couple of days off. Sometimes I've taken an entire week off because I just needed to give myself a full breather before I dive back into content creation, business building, book writing, audience cultivating, networking, marketing, whatever it is that I'm doing. I'll take every once in a while, I'll take a full week. If you can, I'd say the best reset is if you can get away for the weekend and go somewhere else. I think the best resets are if you can totally extract yourself from the environment you're in, not just your workroom or your house or your neighborhood, but the entire, just head out of state. If you can, at least head to another city, another town, go somewhere you haven't been, enjoy some scenery and being around people that you haven't been around. I think that's the most successful resource. If you can go on vacation, that's great. Not everybody can. But if you can just give yourself a mini vacation or just a break from the work and just get away from it, I think that's the optimum reset, is when you can distance yourself enough to put yourself in a new environment to the point where you have completely transcended the sort of your usual daily cycle. You're going to probably extract more benefit from the reset if you can do that. And so that's the second part, which is, or that's the third part I should say, is to try to figure out where you're going to go, how much you can distance yourself, what you're going to do to distract yourself or take your mind off of it, right? So the first part is realizing that you need a reset, that things aren't working or whatever. The second part is defining the amount of time that you're going to give yourself. The third part is trying to create some sort of distance from, your normal work environment as much as you can. And then the final fourth part is coming back with fresh eyes and giving yourself permission to look at everything new, to start completely over from scratch, and just to wipe the slate clean. And again, just to start anew. The power of the reset cannot be underestimated. I think all of the greatest creators and greatest minds in the world understand and know the power of the reset. And the sooner you adopt this and allow yourself, you're not giving yourself a reset every other day or every week or whatever. Unless you're really, really working, then you might give yourself a reset once a week. It all depends on how intense you're working on things and where you're at with your projects. But generally speaking, I believe that the greatest creators, innovators, and leaders of our time and throughout history have known the power of the reset, of power of stepping away and coming back with a fresh set of eyes to look at things anew. So anyway, that'll do it for this episode. As per always, take good care, and we'll talk to you soon. If this episode resonated with what you're moving through, and you're interested in private spiritual coaching around awakening, emotional integration, shadow work, relationships, boundaries, or building a soul-led life and business, email me directly at rc101coaching@gmail.com with the word coaching in the subject line. You can also find the contact link in the show notes. Follow Awaken Sovereignty for future episodes and share this with someone moving through their own awakening. This is Chris Pinckley. Stay awake, stay aligned, stay sovereign.